David here with Northwest Outdoor Adventures, and today we're reviewing my favorite shoe of all time. Well, this line is my favorite shoe, and that is the Timp 3s. So they've got a new iteration. They skipped over the 2.5s, not sure why, but anyways, you'll notice I'm not on the trail right now. I'm actually in my house, and the reason I'm here as opposed to just being out on the trail is I wanted to do a shoe by shoe comparison. So we've got the latest generation here, the 3s, lightly used. I've gone about 10 miles in these right now. The previous generation, so these are the 2s. Again, they skipped over the 2.5s. I've actually got 2 pairs of those sitting here that I've used in the past. I think this has about 150 miles. These a little bit more, maybe somewhere in the 2 to 250 range. And just for fun, I've got the original, the OGs, the Timp, the original Timps. So ignore the cat food. So yeah, anyways, I'm going to give you guys kind of my initial impression before we kind of go into the comparison here. But first thoughts, not super stoked with this latest generation, the 3s. So I'll just kind of go over what I like and dislike about it right now. Some new additions that they've made. You'll notice they've kind of redone the whole upper a bit. The toe cap, or the toe guard, which prevents water or excess water getting in on your toe, provides a little bit of protection from rocks and roots and things like that. That's actually a bit bigger here now. You can see they've added a bit more depth to that, which I think is a good thing. It didn't seem to add to the stiffness of the shoe or anything like that, so I'm a fan of that. I was originally a fan of what I'm seeing on the sides here, kind of, again, similar to the toe cap, but a bit more flexible and has a little bit more porous. I guess there's some vents on the side too. I was hoping this would help improve the durability a bit because, as we all know, the Timps and a lot of Ultra shoes have had a history of durability issues, so hopes there were that it would help with that. The tongue, there's some new additions to the tongue, which I am not happy about. You'll notice the tongue itself, the shape of it's a little bit different here. There's a big U shape kind of at the top of the tongue, which, you know, you might think would help with how it sits on, you know, the top of your ankle. But to me, it just feels awkward and not very comfortable. So if you look at the previous generations, this one's fairly flat. And then, of course, the originals are even the opposite. They're like convex for some reason. But anyways, the tongue, yeah, there's a bit more of it. It feels a little bit thicker. There's some strap here that I don't know exactly what it's for. I didn't read about it. So I'm unsure what that is even meant for, but it's some bungee type thing that's now on the middle of the tongue. I'm not sure if it's for stability purposes or what, but it's there and it's weird to me. I don't know why it's there, but so anyways, yeah, I'd say whatever new design they have for these tongues is a bit uncomfortable. The sizing, to me, other people I've read online say that the sizing is a bit different now and you should maybe go down a half size compared to what you used to have. So just for context, in my normal everyday shoe, I typically wear a 10.5. In my trail running shoes, I'll normally get an 11. So that's what these are. That's what these are. That's what these are. So I got an 11 in these as well. And overall, the fit feels pretty good, except my heel slips a little bit on one of these. So I'm not exactly sure if I'm just right on the edge with one of my feet for the sizing or if it's something different they've done in the construction. But kind of important to note, I have to have my laces tied up really tight and, you know, really buckled in to prevent my heel from slipping there, which of course, if you're getting heel slippage, easy to get blisters on like your Achilles region in the back of your heel there. So not super happy with the fit or the feel of this latest generation. And so that's kind of my 2 cents originally. I'd say not very happy with this latest generation. I think it's probably the worst out of all of them so far. So yeah, not too happy. And now I guess for comparison's sake, you know, we'll talk about the previous generation a little bit here. So with Ultra, one of the biggest concerns, especially with the Timp line, has been durability. So, you know, again, with the 2s, you can see here, the side, we've got major blowouts. And again, this was like 100 to 150 miles or something like that when this happened. And of course, it's on both shoes, a little bit less on this one. But on this pair as well in the back here, same thing happened. Very disappointing, you know, when you're paying $130 plus for shoes you're paying basically, you know, $1 a mile at that point, and that's kind of crazy. So, you know, that's obviously a major concern going into it with these shoes, the latest version, the 3s. And right off the bat, you know, not a huge issue, but just kind of disappointing when you first buy shoes. Again, I've ran in these only a couple times, got about 10 miles on them. And on my very first run, the toe cap, or the cap on the lace fell off, which, again, not a huge issue, but it makes it quite difficult to, you know, put it through the eyelets and stuff when you're trying to lace up, if you happen to need to adjust that. Again, it's a minor thing, you know, you can buy new laces quite easily, but still, again, you're paying 130 bucks, and that's a little bit of a bummer to have to deal with that right away. What's way more concerning, though, is, again, so I mentioned on the side of the shoes now, they've gotten some kind of rubber, you know, it's water resistant, it seems like, some kind of side covering. Again, about 10 miles, right where my foot creases as, you know, I run, it started to come apart. And so, you know, I can fit my finger in this little hole now. And so I assume, just based on how it looks from the outside, that this covering goes all the way across, and hopefully that doesn't mean this is going to start coming apart in, you know, 20, 30 miles completely, but, you know, that's yet to be seen. But it's a huge concern of mine anytime I buy Altras, is the durability, and so that's a bad sign, I'd say, initially. So I don't want to drag this video on too long, just kind of wanted to give you guys kind of my first impression. You know, if you're in the market for these, my first thought is skip this generation. It seems to not be, it's not my favorite. If you've really liked, you know, the 2s or the 1.5s, or especially the 1s, the originals, I don't see how you could like these as much. They're, to me, I guess it's subjective, they're a worse shoe in almost all measurements. So by comfort, it's worse for me. I guess by looks, they have good colorways, so that's a plus. But yeah, in general, I would say steer clear. I'd probably go with something else. I just did a Lone Peak video of the latest iterations of that, and I'll be using my Lone Peaks over these. I think I'll probably be using my Lone Peaks for the longer runs, and, you know, I'm probably going to continue to run in these until I get to about either 200 miles, or if there's an insane durability issue, you know, like a blowout or something like that. And then I'll do a follow-up, kind of a full review where I talk about, you know, all that kind of stuff. So otherwise, yeah, not very happy with these. Wouldn't recommend them unless you just absolutely love the Timp line and really want to try it, which I do, and I'm that kind of a person, and so I was quite bummed when I got these. Not super happy with the direction that Altra's going with these. So that's it. Thanks for watching. I'm sorry this is longer than my normal kind of first impressions, but again, you know, these are kind of my favorite line of shoes that are out there. But yeah, you hate to see it going in a direction that you're not happy with, but, you know, it is what it is. So thanks for watching. Of course, if you guys have your own experiences with these that are different from mine, or if you want to just drop your opinions in the comments below, I'd love to read it and see it. So other than that, you know, happy trails. Hope you guys are getting yourselves ready for spring and summer. Hopefully races will be back in action and we can go back to some normalcy. So thanks for watching. Catch you next time.